All right, so today we're going to take a close look at a dietary supplement called Mitolyn. We're going to deconstruct it, but here's the key. We are only looking at its own promotional materials. The goal is to understand what they claim it does, how they say it works, and, what's actually in the bottle according to them. Let's get right into it.
So, the entire idea behind this product, Mitolyn, really boils down to this one simple, pretty powerful metaphor, right? What if you could tune up your body's engine? This question, this is the key to understanding everything the product claims to be about.
So let's just start with the absolute basics. What exactly is Mitolyn, at least according to the folks who make it?
Okay, so the official description calls it a natural, plant-based dietary supplement, and its whole stated purpose? To support your body's own natural energy levels. They also make it a point to say that it's all produced right here in the USA under some pretty strict quality standards.
Now, this is really important. The makers are super clear about what Mitolyn isn't. They state, point blank, it is not a medicine. It's not intended to cure any disease. And they also make sure to recommend, hey, consult a doctor before you start any new supplement. And you know what? That's a crucial disclaimer.
So if that's what they claim it is, how is it actually supposed to work? Well, this is where that whole engine metaphor really comes back into play. The entire proposed mechanism, the whole idea, centers on one tiny but super important part of our cells, the mitochondria. Now, the company's material simplifies all the complex biology down to a really simple concept. Just think of these as the small engines that power our bodies. This little graphic here breaks it all down into 3 simple steps. 1, you take in fuel, you eat food. 2, the mitochondria, those little engines, get to work converting that fuel. And 3, power out. Your body gets the energy it needs. The claim here is that as we get older, these engines can start to slow down, and Mitolyn is designed to support their health and keep them running efficiently. Okay, so what's the secret sauce here? What's actually in this formula that's supposed to support these cellular engines? Let's take a look inside the bottle at the 6 core ingredients they really highlight. So the whole formula is built around 6 key natural ingredients. And we're just going to do a quick breakdown of what the promotional material says about each and every one. First up is maki berry. The source describes it as a fruit that's just packed with antioxidants, which they claim helps protect those cellular engines from wear and tear and damage.
Next on the list, we've got rhodiola. This plant is presented as something that helps the body manage stress. You can kind of think of it as helping the engine run smoothly even when it's under pressure. And on top of that, it's also said to support brain health.
The third one is a bit of a mouthful, Haematococcus pluvialis. This is basically a type of red algae, and it's highlighted because it's a source of something called astaxanthin, which is claimed to support both your joints and your immune system.
Number 4 on the ingredient list is amla, which you might also know as Indian gooseberry. It's described as being really rich in vitamin C, and it's in the formula to help with digestion and vision support.
Fifth on the list is Theobroma cacao, which is a fancy name for something you probably already know, raw cocoa. In this formula, its job is to support healthy blood pressure.
And finally, we have Schisandra. The material connects this little red berry to 2 things, supporting liver health and also helping to maintain skin elasticity. So, to kind of wrap up the formula, the makers really stress that it is 100% plant-based and non-GMO. But they also make another key point. It contains absolutely no stimulants. So it's designed to give you that energy boost without that awful jittery feeling you might get from, say, a bunch of caffeine. Okay, so we've seen the ingredients and we've heard the theory behind how it all works, but what about the results? Let's take a look at the benefits that are actually reported by users in the promotional materials.
When you look through the user testimonials, the benefits they talk about seem to fall into 4 main buckets. The biggest one, the most common, is a feeling of increased daily energy. That's followed by support for weight management, better mental focus and clarity, and just general wellness support for things like the heart, liver, and immune system. Of course, the materials always add that individual results can vary.
Now, to make these benefits a little more concrete, the source material highlights some specific user stories with some pretty impressive numbers. Let's start with this one, -35 pounds. What's the story there?
Well, this number comes from a testimonial by a user named Peggy. She's quoted in the material saying, "I lost 35 pounds and finally enjoy looking in the mirror again." So a very direct claim.
And Peggy's story isn't the only one they feature. Nope. Here's another number they highlight from a different user.
This number,
29 pounds, is tied to a second testimonial from a user named Russell. He's quoted as losing 29 stubborn pounds that he'd struggled with before, directly linking the supplement to a specific weight management outcome.
All right, so let's get down to the practical stuff, the brass tacks. How much does Mitolyn cost, and what are the purchase options that they list on their official site?
Okay, so the site outlines a few different tiers. You can just buy a single bottle, or you can purchase in bulk with either a 3 or 6 bottle package. As you'd expect, the cost per bottle goes down with the larger packages, and both the 3 and 6 bottle options come with a couple of bonus gifts. The biggest package also throws in free shipping.
Beyond the price, there is one more number that's pretty significant for anyone thinking about buying this: 90. So what is the importance of 90 days? That 90-day window, that's for their money-back guarantee. The material says they offer a full refund for 90 days, and get this, they explicitly mention this applies even if the bottles are empty. It's really presented as their way of making it a low-risk decision for you to try it out.
And that pretty much brings us to the end of our breakdown of the Mitolyn promotional material. So we'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. In the bigger picture, in the quest for energy and vitality, what role should supplements like this one really play alongside those foundational pillars of diet and lifestyle? It's definitely a question worth considering.